Good morning. My name is Marilena Papageorgiou. I'm a special planner with an expertise in marine and environmental planning. I'm a member of the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki research team in Greece, and the topic of my presentation is about marine protected areas, putting emphasis on the network in the Mediterranean. As regards the outline of the presentation, it starts with the necessary definitions on what a marine protected area is. It continues with the different types of marine protected areas that are launched by international organizations and bodies, of course placing emphasis on the geographical area of the Mediterranean. Then it goes on with the key facts on the status and the degree of protection in the Mediterranean, then with the key management and planning challenges, as well as the key management and planning guidelines to implement in marine protected areas. In the end, one can also find the references used, as well as additional material to advise in case of future investigation on the topic. So, let's start. What is a marine protected area? The definition included here comes from IUCN, which is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. According to IUCN, marine protected areas involve the protective management of natural areas according to predefined management objectives. Marine protected areas can be conserved for a number of reasons, including economic resources, biodiversity conservation, and species protection. They are created by delineating zones with permitted and non-permitted uses within that zones. As for the reason of recognizing protected areas in the sea, designation of marine protected areas serves the following purposes: the conservation of important habitats, the protection of endangered marine species, the reduction of environmental degradation by human activities, the wise management of marine resources. As regards the different types of marine protected areas, here one can see their range organized by international organizations and bodies. Under the United Nations, the marine protected areas introduced are SPAMIs, EBSAs, MARPOL special areas, particularly sensitive sea areas, cetacean critical habitats, fisheries restricted areas. Under the European Union, Natura Network, ecological protection zones, fisheries protected areas. Finally, under CIESM, the only type is marine peace parks. Of course, each coastal state has its own marine protected areas system under its national legislation. In this case, a very common type of marine protected area in the Mediterranean is the marine park. One should also bear in mind that in many cases, national marine protected areas make part of international marine protected areas and vice versa. So now, let's see one by one all these different types of marine protected areas. The first type of marine protected area deriving from the United Nations are the SPAMIs. That stands for Specially Protected Areas of Mediterranean Interest. SPAMIs were launched under UNEP MAP and especially under the Barcelona Convention and the SPA Protocol. Such a type of protected area is established to promote cooperation in the management and conservation of natural areas, as well as to protect threatened species and their habitats found in the marine space of the Mediterranean. SPAMIs are also designated in marine areas with scientific, aesthetic, historical, archaeological, cultural or educational interest. For the record, UNEP is the United Nations Environmental Programme and MAP is a multilateral environmental agreement in the context of the Regional Seas Programme of UNEP. The Barcelona Convention, on the other hand, is the Convention for the Protection of the Marine Environment and the Coastal Region of the Mediterranean that was introduced in 1976 and amended in 1995. The figure that is included here shows the location and size of SPAMIs, of course in the Mediterranean. The map was taken from the official site of SPAMIs. The legend shown in this slide belongs to the map of the previous slide. It includes the list of all SPAMIs in the Mediterranean. Different colors represent SPAMIs in different countries. The Pelagos Sanctuary is considered to be the first transboundary marine protected area and is currently part of the SPAMIs network. The sanctuary covers an area of 87,500 square kilometers and 2,022 kilometers of coast. It extends across the waters of France, Italy, and Monaco, including Corsica and northern Sardinia, as well as smaller islands such as the islands of Hierro, Liguria, the Tuscan archipelago, and the Strait of Bonifacio. The second type of marine protected area deriving from the United Nations are the EBSAs. That stands for Ecologically or Biologically Significant Marine Areas. The EBSAs are special areas in the ocean that serve important purposes, in one way or another, to support the healthy functioning of oceans and the many services that it provides. In 2008, the 9th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Biological Diversity Convention adopted a set of 7 scientific criteria for identifying ecologically or biologically significant marine areas in need of protection in open ocean waters and deep sea habitats. The parts of the Mediterranean that were identified as EBSAs under those criteria are shown in the map you see here. A third type of marine protected area introduced by the United Nations are MARPOL special areas under IMO. MARPOL special areas is a type of zone for the prevention of pollution from ships introduced by the MARPOL Convention, which is the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships. This type of special areas can be recognized at an international level for technical reasons or due to their particular character and oceanographical and ecological condition to adopt measures for the prevention of sea pollution by oil. For the record, IMO, that stands for International Maritime Organization, is the United Nations specialized agency with responsibility for the safety and security of shipping and the prevention of marine and atmospheric pollution by ships. The Mediterranean Basin is in total recognized as special area under MARPOL against oil pollution since October 1983 and against garbage pollution since May 2009. Another type of marine protected area under the United Nations are the PSAs, that stands for Particularly Sensitive Sea Areas. PSAs can be recognized under IMO, especially in areas fulfilling a set of ecological, social, cultural, and economic criteria, such as be a unique or rare ecosystem, be a significant area for education, recreation, or tourism. The designation of an area as PSA requires specific measures for the control of maritime activities in that area, including routing measures, etc. At this point, one should have in mind that PSAs can be included in MARPOL sea special areas and vice versa. In the Mediterranean, only one PSA out of the 15 that exist in total worldwide is found. The Strait of Bonifacio, located between France and Italy, has been designated since 2011 as PSA. It has a width that varies from 8 to 10 nautical miles, while its maximum depth is only 100 meters. Another type of marine protected area under the United Nations are the cetacean critical habitats. Cetacean critical habitats are recognized under the ACOBAMS Agreement, the Agreement on the Conservation of Cetaceans of the Black Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and contiguous Atlantic area. ACOBAMS is a legal conservation tool based on cooperation. Its purpose is to reduce threats to cetaceans, notably by improving current knowledge on these animals. ACOBAMS Agreement was established under the auspices of the Bonn Convention. It was signed in 1996 and entered into force in 2001. In the Mediterranean, 23 areas were identified as cetacean critical habitats. This map presents the location and size of the recognized citation critical habitats in ACOBAMS. The last type of marine protected area under the United Nations are the fisheries restricted areas. Fisheries restricted areas were launched in 2005 under the GFCM, which is the General Fisheries Commission for the Mediterranean. Fisheries restricted areas are all waters with depths more than 1,000 meters with the purpose to prevent exhaustion of demersal and deep water species. In 2006, GFCM recommended the prohibition of fishing with towed dredges and bottom trawls in the following three areas: the Lofelia Reef of Capo Santa Maria di Leuca in Italy, the Nile Delta area in Egypt, and the Eratosthenes Seamount in Cyprus. Moving on to marine protected areas that were launched by the European Union, the first type is the Natura Network. The Natura Network was established under the Habitats Directive to ensure the conservation of a wide range of rare, threatened, or endemic animal and plant species. Under this directive, two types of protected areas were launched: special protected areas and sites of community importance. SPAs and SCIs constitute the largest network of protected areas in the world. The network, also known as Natura 2000, includes terrestrial and marine sites providing protection to valuable and threatened species and habitats of natural importance. Natura 2000 sites may also be part of or may include national or international marine protected areas. Another type of marine protected area under the European Union is the Ecological Protection Zone. Ecological protection zones are established in the European Union and in the Mediterranean with the approval of the IMO. The primary objective is to preserve ecological biodiversity and, in some cases, living resources. Along with ecological protection zones, another last type of marine protected area under the European Union are the fisheries protected areas. Fisheries protected areas were launched in 2006 under the Mediterranean Fisheries Regulation as areas where certain fishing activities may be temporarily or permanently restricted. This is to improve the exploitation and the protection of marine ecosystems and of living aquatic resources. In 2011, the 2006 regulation was amended and recognized as fisheries protected areas all three areas that GFCM recognized as fisheries restricted areas. In this notion, the EU fisheries protected areas fully match the definition of the UN fisheries restricted areas under GFCM. This slide and this map shows the size and the location of areas where fishery zones and plans are adopted under the EU Mediterranean Fisheries Regulation. Different colors and rasters represent different types of fishing tools and fishing stock: trawlers, purse seiners, boat seines, pelagic stocks. Finally, the last type of international marine protected areas found in the Mediterranean are the marine peace parks. The marine peace parks are large and transboundary marine areas in the Mediterranean of oceanographic, biological, and geological importance. They were identified and agreed in November 2010 by CIESM top marine experts. The 8 marine peace parks that were proposed are shown here. For the record, CIESM stands for the Mediterranean Science Commission. The Commission, with headquarters in Monaco, involves 24 member states. And now let's summarize. This table presents once again the overview of all the types of marine protected areas that we just saw. As one can see, all types of marine protected areas can be recognized in the territorial waters of a coastal country, which means waters where coastal states have absolute sovereign rights. Beyond that waters, where ABNG begins, that is, areas beyond national jurisdiction, protection of species and habitats can only be achieved with the implementation of marine protected areas under the United Nations. So far, however, the vast majority of marine protected areas in the Mediterranean and worldwide are located in areas under coastal state jurisdiction. This map shows the size and location of the existing network of marine protected areas in the Mediterranean. The map comes from the report issued from the 31st European Cetacean Society Conference that took place in Denmark in 2017. This map shows the designated marine protected areas, but also the ones proposed to be included in the network because of their importance in terms of species and habitats. Following the previous map, in this slide one can see the different levels of protection in the Mediterranean Sea. In the maps we see here, each dot represents the centroid of a marine protected area or a zone within a marine protected area. The size of the dots is proportional to the size of the marine protected area on a long scale. The color of the dots corresponds to the level of protection of the marine protected area. The percentage in the top right of each panel represents the cumulative percentage of the Mediterranean Sea covered by the displayed levels of protection in the panel. In each panel, marine protected areas from the lower level of protection from the previous panel are sequentially removed. As regards other key facts, according to research published in 2008, the Mediterranean Marine Protected Areas Network was not representative or coherent. At the same time, existing marine protected areas were not completely representative of Mediterranean habitats. According to a more recent study conducted in 2020, only 6.01% of the Mediterranean Sea is under protection. In most part of this marine protected areas network, regulations are not stronger inside than outside. Fully protected is only 0.23% of the Mediterranean Sea, and protection is unevenly distributed among different countries. As regards the management and planning challenges, the most common threats to marine protected areas, but also to oceans and seas, are overfishing, uncontrolled development and building of the coastal zone, marine pollution by human marine activities and terrestrial uses. Finally, in terms of management and planning, a zonal structure is considered to be the most appropriate for marine protected areas. In this case, the most common and basic structure is the central or core area, the buffer zone, and the transition or peripheral zone area. Except for the core zone, that is and should be the stricter in terms of protection, planning in all other zones should at least address the following: the type of activities that should be permitted within each zone, the methods of practice for each of the permitted activities so that they are environmentally friendly, and the intensity of exploitation, that is the volume of resource extraction. As we come to the end of this presentation, here are the references used for the documentation of the information included in this lecture. In case of further investigation, this is the suggested material and databases. The last item, that is MapAmed, is a GIS database that gathers information on marine protected areas of the Mediterranean and more generally on sites of interest to the conservation of the marine environment. This is the end of the presentation. In case you have questions or you need further clarifications, don't hesitate to contact me at this email you see here. Thank you very much. Ευχαριστώ.